Hello there, you lovely lot. Welcome back to Crafters TV. I hope you are enjoying. Well, if you're here in the UK, and pretty much most people's last day off for the festive break is bank holiday today. If you're across the pond and you're still off, I hope you've had a brilliant day. I hope you're feeling ready to tackle a new year. We have got some incredible deals for you. It is, of course, our Monday Makers show, and he is back in the building. We thought we only had one instalment of him today, but we've had 2 extra helpings of the Hottie Scotty, and he's back for Monday Makers. How are you? Hottie, I was about to call you then, and then I thought, no, don't call him that, call him Scotty. I thought, no, his name's Craig. How are you?
I'm all right, good looking, raring to go. As you can tell, raring to go for Monday Makers. Yeah, so I did, as Joe just said, it turned out to be one show back, but been here all day. What a blast I've had. Absolute blast with these guys. But here we go, we're not finished just yet. We've still got Monday Makers to go. So let's dive straight in and show you some of the things you could be making, using some of the things we're going to be using today. Now we're going to be having a look at the panel dies. Now, as I've touched upon throughout today, certainly within Wake Up Call, these panel dies are new to me. These launched when, well, had to have a little bit of time off. So I'm using them today for the very first time. These are so gorgeous. A few different ways in which you can use them. For instance, the butterflies, the wings actually pop up, so then you can then do a little bit of snippage if you want. You can make them smaller. You can actually do them on top of a backdrop if you want when it comes to your 3D folders. Paper piecing, really good one. And then back to where I started there with the peacock feathers, where you can keep it very simple but going with the darker tones. Then we're going to also be having a look at our Build a Bouquet, both of which so far we touched upon this morning / afternoon on Wake Up Call. And these are so cute and they're so fun because you do exactly that. You build your bouquet. You've got the stamps, you've got the dies. If you want to use the stamps on their own and create masking, you can do, but you've got the versatility with having the dies as well. Creating it as the focal point that you will do majority of the time, but if you do use the stamps on their own, you can then start to create different backdrops as well. Mix and match them if you want to incorporate them with your concept cards. This is what we've done within Wake Up Call. Then we're going to be having a look, which is also new to me within Monday Makers, and these are our stencils. Absolutely exquisite for, straight away, your backgrounds, but bringing in all of your different inks, bringing in your embossing powders, going brights, going pastels. Look at that. You're mix and matching the monochromatics with your pastel tones, but then sticking with the blacks and the silvers. How elegant does that look within there? Perfect for a wedding invitation that you can see within that one. Incorporating past products if you want to, but all about keeping it very, very simple. And then what we will be using throughout some of the demos is the sparkle pens. This is just giving you some ideas as to what you can create, whether it's backgrounds or whether you want to actually use the sparkle pens on top of your stamps or on top of your projects. That is pretty much the main products that I'm going to be demoing with throughout the show of Monday Makers, but I know Joe's got other things as well he'll be going over.
Absolutely, I have. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so in all the normal ways. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion, if you are across on YouTube. So lovely to be back live with you, and some of you, this will be the first show of the day that you are catching. We are back to normal, although I should say, don't forget there's been a little bit of a schedule change as well. Soft Side Life will now be on Fridays and switch places with Colour Me Happy. So 3 PM in the UK, 10 AM East Coast, 7 AM West Coast. That's where you'll now find Soft Side Life on a Friday instead of a Sunday.
Joe, can I just tell you at first, before I came back, no one told me that.
Oh, okay.
So last week when I got my schedule through and it had Wake Up Call, we're looking at this for Friday coming, we're looking at stuff at Softer Side, and I'm like, I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do. Where's Softer Side? And then I was told that that's done a little bit of a switcheroo with Colour Me Happy. So.
There you are. Confusion over. Yeah, can you imagine? Visions of you prepping all the wrong.
I could do some cross stitching.
Can you?
Actual.
Is that when you're stitching but really angry?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
just
when
check.
You're crossing the
cross stitching. I was furious stitching. Anyway, let me get into this. Sorry, I found that really funny. No one else did. We're going to look at Build a Bouquet first. Let's have a look at these. So, really nice, these stamps and dies. You can really play around with them, customise them exactly how you want them, because, of course, they are all individual, which is fantastic. So you've got this one just here. which is wishing you well. My absolute favourite flower here as well, the Stargazer Lily, is in this particular one. You've then got just for you as well. Love the vases, and also don't forget, of course, you can interchange them across the different collections. You don't need to keep them in their specific collections as well. This one here is for a beautiful friend with the gorgeous peony in there. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say that is. And then also, you've got the Enjoy Your Day as well. A really, really incredible price on this. Everyone saves £33 and change, or $38 and change. Platinum members can pick these up today for under £15, which is amazing. We are going to move on to the panel dies, which you can see just here. These are gorgeous because they are kind of a creator card size, and they create such intricate detailing for you as well. This first one here that you've got with the butterflies, you can actually lift as well these wings up that are under here, so it'll give you loads of extra dimension, which is fantastic. That's your elegant butterflies that you've got there. This one here is your entwining vines. Then you've also got here your peacock feathers, and you've got here as well the perfect peonies. The other great thing about these as well, lots of different concepts that you can take these into as well, as you'll see here, things like your shaker cards, loads of different designs like this one here. Fold like a Z fold, but with an extra bit there. I haven't seen one of those before. Very fancy, Craig, that one, isn't it? Also love this style of card as well. I guess we'd call this like an illusion easel card, just there.
Oh, that's
great
good.
It's really cool, isn't it?
Really good.
Really lovely. Into a bridge card as well.
It's upside down.
Then we've also got another illusion card here, just there. And I'll show you what, we're making a right mess of these. And then also, I don't know what this one's called, Craig. Very interesting. Love the hat.
K card.
Is it a K card?
K.
And also then really cute little fold back cards as well. Just an idea there of some of the things that you're going to be able to do with these, which is fantastic. Right, Craig, where are we going to start then in this amazing Monday Makers show?
We're going to start exactly there. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with showing you some more inspiration just all about the panel dies here. So this is where some of those incredible concepts Joe showed you a moment ago, you can then pop them and layer them onto your acetate. You're creating that bit of a bridge, but you're still creating that card blank that you can see here. And once again, the butterfly wings actually pop up. What you can then do is add some cardstock pattern paper to the back so it pops through, doing something similar just shortly within the first demo. But then look at the difference when you mix and match your colour tones. You can go really bright, but go really pastel tones. This one reminds me of the colour tones from Sarah's Care and Thoughts collection.
Yes, it does
this
indeed.
One here. In actual fact, our Julia, she made this one. She's got a few bit of details. Actually, yes, she did. Care and Thoughts 12 by 12 paper pad and card pad she used. So that's why it stands out as being the Care and Thoughts. Then we have got the peacocks. Now these ones here have been coloured with some sparkle pens, I believe. But then what you can then do is mix and match, like this one has been done from Julie, with the peacock papers. But what I done within Wake Up Call is I mix and matched them with the Masquerade Ball papers. That worked really well. And then what about this one? Also from Julie, actually. The peacock feathers have actually been die cut into patterned paper. Now look at that effect that you've got there. You know, now popping it onto a plain blank of Centura Pearl, so white on the back, but it looks so, so different. It's very kind of marbled look in the background, which you could create that effect with your own inks if you want to. A simple background by popping a sentiment on the top, using it to create a really fancy easel card, and then going in with the roses, which is what we're about to use in a moment. This one has been die cut within the 8x8 texture cardstock, the deep blue, more of a deep turquoise. And then the inside layers, that's actually been coloured in. So it goes to show you can colour in if you want to as well as paper piece. So that's some of the things that you can be doing when it comes to the panel dies. So what we can do to start with is, I'm going to go in with a piece of watercolour card. And I'm going to go in with our sparkle pens, and I'm going to go in with the macaroon, which is from the Antique Vintage Sparkle Pen collection.
Awesome. I know we've got those on the show, haven't we? I'll share those with you shortly.
We absolutely do. So this one's already primed and good to go. I just need to give it a little bit of a shake. Now what I'm going to do, and what I need to say as well, because I wasn't originally meant to be on Monday Makers, I've not prepped all of these. Lily, that you'll have seen while I was off, she's done, actually, she's all the ones that we plan on doing live, Lily has done them. So I'm taking no credit for these demos. It's Lily that's helped us out here. So I can't, yeah, no, I'm doing it the right way. I know I've been off for 3 months, but I've still got my muscles. Excuse me, what's funny about that? So, got a shake, we're good to go, and what I'm going to do is press, just to get some of that colour up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and then brush across. So I'm going to go all the way down the watercolour card. If you wanted to start to blend the colour out with some water, you absolutely can. But I want to go quite deep within this one. So I'm giving it a little bit of a press every now and again to get that ink out. And we're working all the way around. And I want it to be big enough so that if I bring in the actual die for it, so let's find the one die I've not got set out is the one that I need. So let's go in with the rose. He says, maybe I did set it out, did I? Maybe I didn't. Bear with team. Here we go. So size-wise, I'm doing it big enough so that it's going to fit my die. So we can just see it just here and no more. It's kind of just fitting as it is. I've actually got one that's already dried, but we might use this one in a moment. So I'm going to set that one to the side. I wouldn't usually waste all that ink there, but for the sake and time of the show, what I'm going to do is take it up, and then we can then get onto the next bit of die cutting, which is good old piece of black card. Now I know Joe's got a bundle he's going to be showing you later on in the show that's got black card in, and this is just the matte black card that Lily has used within that bundle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this onto my Gemini Junior plates. I've got my plates out from my storage bag that's in our green room. So if you've seen Masterclass, I'm able to show you now. These are actually my plates I use in here most of the time. Remember how I was saying I always use one cutting plate to cut with, and I keep one that's uncut. You know, it's scratched in that, we're going through the machine, but it's uncut. That's exactly what I mean. It means if I do any embossing techniques with stencils or that, I now can use that clean side, and I'm not going to get any cut marks in it. So I just thought I would show that while we do our plates. So cardstock, die, doing my plastic, magnetic, and then top plate. We can feed this one through. So as you can see there, size-wise, it's going to go through the Junior, no problem, and it's going to go through the Midi, no problem as well. So therefore, it's going to go through the large Gemini. And then what I'm going to do in a moment, because I will just need just a little bit of time while I do the next bit, is if I tape or tap and take all these bits out, and you'll see how it's all die cut. All that I need to do is pop these bits here. And then what I'm going to do, Joe, is I'm going to use the one that's already fully dried that Lily's done for me. So I'm going to use my tacky glue. So I'm going to put some tacky glue all over the back. I'm going to stick it on top, and then what I'm going to do is roughly freehand cut all the way around, so that red now becomes the backdrop. So beautiful. It's just to let you know. Really
lovely, really striking with the black against the red, isn't it?
Really, really striking colours. And the good thing is you can change the colour tones whichever way that you want. You can have a play, you can mix and match, you can do an ombre effect if you want, but really liking this macaroon colour that Lily's done. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and I'll probably do a little bit of a cheat as well, whereas I'm going to put some onto my glass mat. I've got a bit of scrap card here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flatten that out slightly, and then just to make it a little bit quicker, I'm going to dab all of that in. You might want to use your sprays or your dotty tape runners.
How would you take that off the mat afterwards, Craig?
Just a wet wipe or a baby wipe or cloth, something like that, yeah. So then what I can do is take that bit off. I'm going to pop that one on. And then this is the bit, Joe, that I'll just need a few moments just with my little small scissors, and we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting.
Absolutely, loads of people chatting away. Hello again from a cloudy afternoon from New Jersey. A big wave hello to our CTV team and our social media guru. Alice is in from Wisconsin. Adriana is in San Antonio. Fred's in California. Mo saying hi from Philadelphia. Mary Pat is also in from Montana. Who else we got here? We've got Treasure Heart as well in Texas. Christine says, hi everyone, I say, Joe has been so happy today having his buddy Craig back. I really have. It's so lovely to be working with Craig again. Judy says, so good to have everyone back live. I didn't know what to do with myself in the afternoons. Elizabeth says, it's good to be back live as well. Fred saying these guys are lovely. Nee says, nothing can lift one of Isolation's blues like a live crafting demo, especially my absolute fave Craig and his equally enthralling friend Joe. Love that. I've never been called enthralling, thanks Nee. I don't know what it means, but I'll take it. I'm gonna have to Google it in a second.
Enthralling, is that quite when you get engrossed in something?
Engrossed?
Engrossed, you know, if you get really engrossed.
Is that how you say it in Scotland?
Engrossed, yeah.
Engrossed. I've never heard you say that like that before. I'd say engrossed.
Engrossed.
Then I'm posh, so, you know.
Yeah, but see, gross to me is like something gross, something yuck.
It means capturing and holding one's attention. Fascinating to watch. There you go. I think we'll take that, won't we?
Yeah.
Craig is the first person to make a mess in the new year, says Lynn. Fred says, thank you, Lily. And Marion says, ooh, black cardstock, woohoo. Well, it's actually part of your Monday Mega Deal. I'll take you through that in just a second. So don't go anywhere. Any other questions you've got, get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion across on YouTube as well. Make sure you get your questions in. There's loads of stuff coming up as well in the show. Make sure you hit that the show button and have a look. I'm very lispy today, Craig.
Very.
I'm not quite sure what is going on. Only a couple more weeks now and I won't be lispy anymore, I hope. Imagine if I've just got a lisp forever now. I'll take them out. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm having I'm having my teeth straightened at the moment. So it means I have these like little plastic things in my mouth the whole time. But what happens, Craig, if they take them out and then that's it? I speak like this forever.
You maybe have a lisp all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I on the opposite sex, find a lisp quite attractive. So, you know, I wouldn't worry too much if... I wouldn't worry too much, but yeah.
Oh, don't play yourself, Craig. Anyway. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Craig. Sorry.
Don't worry, you're not my type.
Oh, it's gonna be well. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It's like my favourite ever comeback. That is.
Miss you so much. So all that I've been doing, while we were going over that, is fussy cutting all the way around here. Now I'm not being overly precise because it's the red in the back that I want. However, on the other hand, certainly when it comes to this bottom half, you'll see what I mean just shortly. I'm being slightly careful because you will see a little bit of the back. And once again, I'll explain that in a little bit more detail in a moment. But working my way around here, just getting rid of any of these little outline bits of the red or the macaroon. And now what we're left with is we are left with that stunning look. So you've got that nice simple matte black card with the rose effect. And then what you can do is, we've got our background with our macaroon. And the one other thing that you can do that Lily's not done, and I'm just going to do a little bit just to show you how you can then even start to add shading, because I've known Lily for a wee while now, and I know she's an incredible crafter. But then what you can start to do is start to add your own shading as well. So maybe add on some additional colour, or because they're water-based as well, I've got a water brush, or it could be a paintbrush in water. What you can then start to do is go in with your water or paintbrush, and this has been a faux bleaching effect. So what you can do, start to colour in areas, and then you can start to pick up the colour. So you can get additional depths of shading when it comes to the petals. So I'm only doing this because, like I say, Lily didn't do this in her original one. I only wanted to show you that you can come along and continue to add depth and definition. But this is what I'm going to be using. So let's move that out the way. And then what I've got here, Joe, is I've got a 4.5 by 6.5 card blank. It's a top fold. And then what I've done as the royal we, Lily's done, scored it in half. So you've got kind of like your, well, this start off a Z fold card, but in actual fact, we're going to use it as an easel card. Then a couple of other bits here. I've got white card, which is 4 by 2 3/4, and Lily's used a script embossing folder. She's written me a little note and she just put script embossing folder. So it could be any that you've got in your stash.
I think I know where that one's from. Is that from Letters from the Heart?
Letters for the Heart, yeah. Or I was also thinking of Vintage Diaries.
Yeah.
But I think Letters from the Heart,
Letters from the Heart has one as well.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And then piece of black card that I'm going to matte and layer onto the top, and then she's done another one for me, which is 4 by 6 with a black matte and layer. And then what I'm going to do is start to assemble this before we finish it off using a sentiment from one of the Builder bouquets that's going to finish it off just perfectly.
Awesome, absolutely awesome. Brandy has got in touch. I don't need to worry, apparently, Craig. She says, Joe, you won't have a lisp forever. I had trays on my teeth for 9 months and my lisp went as soon as I was done with them. You should have heard me the first time I ever put them in, Craig.
Yeah.
So I had to put them in on like a Tuesday night and I was at the house with Debbie and I put them in. I kid you not, I could not talk. I was like, Sarah's signature selection. Like it was so bad. And I put them in and me and Debbie were just, we couldn't contain ourselves. It was so funny. And Debbie, I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to work tomorrow, Debbie, what I'm going to do. But I think you must just get used to them. That by the next day I could manage to talk again.
You were fine.
Yeah, it was absolutely fine. But it was, I wish I had recorded myself with them in.
That would have been funny.
I think it's bad today because I haven't spoken like loads over Christmas. I mean, I love a chat, don't get me wrong. But I think obviously doing more talking today than I have for a long time. It's why I'm quite lispy again today. Marilyn says, wow, that looks stunning, Craig. And Dawn says, Craig, so happy to see you back. I know she speaks for all of us when she says that. Mary Lee says, these dies are so beautiful. My favourite is the peacock. I did some watercolour blending on watercolour paper, then cut the feather dye, and it was beautiful and made a fabulous card. Idea.
That's really good, yeah. And that's the thing, you can create such fabulous cards or projects, have a little bit of playtime with them, snip into them, cut into them, and you really can create a lot of different looks. Then what I've got here is I've got the With Love From Me To You, and that is from the floral bouquet stamps that we've got on the show as well, and it is from the Just For You set. And I've got a little piece of white stamping card, which is 2 1/4 by 1 inch. And I'm going to stamp using my alcohol-proof ink pad, and then I'm going to go into the centre of this one here. So let's press that in with my stamping platform. So I can set all these out the way. And then what Lily's done as well, and it's a really good idea and a really good thing to show. So she's done a black matte and layer, but to bring it all together, she's got a piece of white card, which is a little bit bigger than the black. And then what she's done, using the macaroon sparkle pen to create a matching matte and layer, she's gone round the edge, didn't go all the way around or over because you only need to see the edges of it.
I kind of love the sort of uneven texture to it as well that it gives you, rather than having coloured piece of cardstock.
Absolutely, yeah, it really does. It just adds something different to the card. Gives your eyes something else to have a look at and focus on without taking away from the main image itself. So this one and these ones I'm going to layer up using my tape, and then this layer I will pop on with a foam pad because I want to use this as my stopper. So press that in and see how these are just going to bringing together really well with the easel card because the same mats and layers work together. So let's bring these ones in. So we can layer these and then we can then start to finish off the card and it'll be good to go for whoever you're giving it to.
Fabulous. Hannah Hicks says Joe needs a snort jar, not a swear jar. I love that idea. Cheryl saying this is very, very pretty. And Teresa says, oh, Joe, how I have missed the banter of you and Craig. Oh, well, he's back now. Don't you worry about that. And Christine says, guys, you'll never understand how much I've missed you two. It always makes me laugh again and again and again. Oh, Christine, hope you had a beautiful Christmas.
And it's funny, Joe, because as I've said to you guys, and I've not really said it to you at home, but, you know, I will say it. While off, I didn't actually watch a lot of Crafters TV. And I genuinely,
oh my word.
I know, I'm sure you'll forgive me though.
Let me just pick my heart up off the floor. Sorry, one second.
I'm sure you'll forgive me because I found it so hard.
Did you?
Because I know
good save.
how much of a laugh we have, how much of a good time we have in the gallery, behind the scenes as well, how much I enjoy being with you guys, that the few that I did watch, it was really, really hard and quite emotional to watch, knowing that, you know, we're missing out. So I didn't watch loads of it because I just couldn't. So that's why it's so good to actually be back. And well, be back at the start of the year as well.
Absolutely, it's great to have you back, Craig. We really
So
have
good.
all missed you. Someone says, who is it? It's just said here, la 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 la. Rose says, well, that didn't take long to get the first snort of the year from Joe. There we are. Quite worrying that that's my signature thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Laughing so hard that I snort. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's on your jumper?
I don't know.
I've been wondering all day.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's a man. That's not a knife. That's his foot there.
Right.
Then we've got a little dog down here somewhere there. It's a man doing a handstand. It's obviously slightly abstract, but there's his hands, that's his head, that's his body, and there's his legs and his feet.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of struggling, I won't lie, Craig, because you know I'm all about the shirts, aren't I?
Yeah.
But it's too cold for a shirt at the moment. And obviously we were going all the way through Christmas wearing festive jumpers for a good sort of 6-8 weeks. And I've got to the new year, and I don't really have many clothes. I really need to do some shopping, so I'm really struggling.
Well, it's quite a cool jumper.
I don't have much of a winter wardrobe, you know.
You
I'm
don't
all
know.
about the summer clothes. Yeah, I love summer clothes much more.
Yeah. Oh, I did wonder because it caught my eye all day today. Really quite fun. But here we go.
Beautiful.
To assemble it, so the top of the rose, what we've done is lifted on some foam pads that you could see there. Optional, you might want to keep them flat. And then same with the sentiment, lifted it up with some foam pads. That's creating the stopper that you can see there. You can continue with maybe some gems, a little bit of ribbon if you want, but you can see what Lily's done within this one here. How, in nice terms, how simple it is, but really effective by creating that back layer with your sparkle pens. You don't always have to use your Centura Pearl, texture cardstock. You could be using your sparkle pens. Same with the mats and layers for the sentiment. It pulls in the full card and just finishes it off. It matches just beautifully together. So that's one of them using the panel dies.
Amazing, absolutely gorgeous. Apparently it is Picasso.
Is it?
Because I thought it was Palau, as in this here, but Palau is a place in the West Indies apparently. So
Okay.
there we go, now we know. Anyway, let's go back through what you're getting included. A couple of questions about the size of these. Just under 4 inches by just under 6 inches. 3.9 by 5.9 is the measurement on them. Let me take you back through the 4 designs that you've got. So you've got those beautiful butterflies in there, which are your elegant butterflies. This one here is the entwining vines that we've got. We then have the peacock feathers, as well as the perfect peonies there as well. 43.85 or 54.50 if you want to get your hands on those. Remember, you will get the Nina cardstock included in there as well, which is fantastic. A couple of other bits I want to tell you about. Sparkle pens, they are on the show for you. Absolutely love these. So in here, you're going to get the 3-pack of the Crystal Clear. Now this is awesome, because what this does, it basically makes anything shiny. I mean, who doesn't want shiny? Then what we've got here for you next is the Earthy Naturals. And in the Earthy Naturals, you will get the Holly Leaf, the Smoked Quartz, and the Harvest Moon. You've then got these ones. Now this is your tint and tone, with the crystal clear, the starry sky and the onyx black. The black is so striking, it's such an awesome colour. Then we have the antique vintage. This is what the macaroon was in, you've just seen Craig use. You've also got peacock blue and fig in there as well. And then last but by no means least, you've then got the essential brights. And this has got the firefly, the pink garnet and the aquamarine within there as well. $49.99 or $64.99. That's a fifth off of those, which is absolutely fabulous. Next up, we've got for you the Monday Mega Deal. Now, the great thing about this is it is a brilliant offer. It does only last 24 hours though, so if you want it, you will need to be quick for it. You will get 40 sheets of the matte black cardstock in here, an absolute essential. You will also get 60 sheets of our white stamping card, and you will then get as well the brights in the 12 by 12 textured cardstock as well, which is a beautiful selection of linen. It's got a real nice linen texture to it in an array of different colours there. So you get 36 sheets of that one as well, which is fantastic. $29.99 or $41.99 as well for that. So do grab those. $23.99, $33.59 if you are in the club, or if you are a platinum member in the club, I should say. We're also going to move on to now to build a bouquet. This is a redonkadonk price on this one. I'm going to say that because you should be paying $51.96 or $59.80. You can see the price. You say $33.78 or $38.87. I think if you've been looking at these for a while and they've just been slightly out of reach from a price point of view, today is a day to snap these up. I should also say to you as well, don't forget the winter sale is still going on over on the website until the end of Thursday with up to 70% off and new items being added all the time. So make sure you go over there and check that out. This one here is the Wishing You Well. Love the Stargazer Lily, my all-time favourite flower in there as well. Of course, because you're adding colour to these, you can colour them up however you want. You can make those white lilies, pink lilies, you could even make them quite abstract if you wanted to. You've then got here as well, just for you, with those really gorgeous bows in here. Then what you've got is your For a Beautiful Friend, which is that one just there.
Oh, thank you.
Love the jar on that one. And also here as well, Enjoy Your Day. So you're going to get all of them, 117 elements total there for you, which is absolutely excellent. Loads of you still chatting away as well. Everyone's in a very chatty mood. I think what's happened, Craig, is everyone's missed out on the live chatting. But a load of, lots of love for that last card you made there. Treasure Heart saying how beautiful that is. Any other questions that you've got, get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. We've also got some ink pads for you as well on the show. Oh gosh, oh Johnny, I've knocked the lid off one and then it's landed. Oh look.
Oh no.
Oh no, one tell Tracy. Look at the state of that. Let's just put that back on there and hope no one notices, hey? No one will notice, I'm sure. Right, should we look at the pigments first? Excellent, let me take you through these. Pigments are brilliant, remember you can do those heat embossing techniques with them. I love that sort of chalky finish they give you. You've got the Oasis, you've also got the Crushed Velvet, Spring Meadow, then the Ocean Blue, Green Topaz, Fuchsia, Plum Jam, Lemon Tonic, the Orange, and the Chinese Red as well. 10 in there for you. Then we move on to, we've also got some quick dries available as well. The quick dries here are the Spring Meadow. We won't say anything about that to anyone. It wasn't me, if anyone asks. Pink Tulip, Plum Jam, Crushed Velvet, and the Grasshopper in there as well. So make sure you grab a hold of those. Right. Still loads of you. So they were the quick dries there, the 5-piece quick dry collection. Johnny just asked me if I've got the quick dries. Yeah. Anyway, right, shall we move on? Shall we go back to the Build a Bouquet? I think we should, don't you, Craig?
I think we should. I'm ready. Well, I am now. Yeah. In actual fact, we're going to be using the quick dries within these ones here. So again, this is another one that Lily's done for myself. So what we're going to do to start with is, I say we're using the quick dry, we are, but we're using a combination of the sparkle pens as well. So I just need to get my waterproof ink pad. So I'm going to go, I've got, oh, there's a black one here. Is it black? Let's just use the flagstone for this. So I've got a piece of watercolour card, and it is 7 1/4 by 4 1/4. And what Lily's actually done is she's used a combination of flower stamps from all 4 sets. So she's got lots of bits prepped for me, so we will follow her lead. So what I'm going to do is let's take, let's have a look and see. So we're going to take some of this one here. So we're going to take some from Wishing You Well. So we can then take this flower. So we're going to use that one. We're then going to use the floral wreath from, or not the floral wreath, but the florals from this one here. So I say it's a combination of flowers from all four, which you get in the set anyway, you get all of them. So you don't need to worry about what ones is it exactly that I'm using. So I've got those ones here. And then I think I need another little bit of foliage. So let's go in with this one here. Here we go. No, this one here. There we go. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to create a border at each side using the four that I've got here. So you can be using your stamping platform, or what I usually find is, you know by now, when it comes to smaller stamps like these, I tend to use a little acrylic block that I've got, Joe. I just find it easier to grip small stamps when it comes to a little acrylic block. And that is the Flagstone waterproof. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not doing it exactly symmetrical, but I am at least doing them side by side so that they are in parallel to each other. So I've done one. I'm going to bring in this leaf set here, and I'm going to come into there. So I don't need to worry about covering all the way round, or I don't need to worry about showing all the floral or leaves within each side. I am stamping off the page. So I can bring in one of the little roses here. I don't think it is that one there, because that's a solid one. So I'm going to set that to the side, and then I'm going to take, here we go, it's this one here, which is from Just For You. And you've got a combination. What I meant by that there is, the ones I'm using here, you can see how you can colour these in, which we're a way to do. The one I just picked up a moment ago is actually got, if I wipe that ink off, what it is, it's like a flat layer, and it's a little bit of detail inside, very similar to our layering stamps. You know how they're quite flat,
yeah,
and you layer upon layer. So you've got two sort of looks when it comes to the stamps within these sets. So that's why I wanted to swap over, because I wanted to make sure that I had the ones that I could colour in. So I'm going in with another bit of foliage into here. So I'm going to go up into there, and then I'll do one down here. And I'm going to do a little bit of colouring with the sparkle pens, and I'll tell you which ones it is that I'm using, Joe.
Fabulous. Loads and loads of people chatting away. A lot of people saying how much they love the pre-recorded shows, and it just wasn't the same. Laurie says, so glad live shows have returned. I was experiencing craft withdrawals. Well, we can't be having that.
No.
Lynn says the pre-recorded shows were nice to watch, but they didn't have the same feeling as the lives. I missed the chat with everyone. Monica's shiny new year, shiny new craft supplies. Absolutely. Hannah Hicks has been playing with the sparkle pens today. Nee says, love those sparkle pens. They are sparkle, not glitter pens, and it gives you, you'll make a more sophisticated shimmer. Nee likes her shimmer sophisticated. Lynn says the price for the Builder Bouquet is fantastic, definitely a great buy. And Hannah says Craig is going to make a mess of that mat. I can sense it.
Absolutely. You know what I'm like with the stamping mats, for sure. For sure. So I'm going to go for 3 at the moment. So I'm going to go for macaroon, pink garnet, and I should be using the green, the holly leaf from the Earthy Naturals, but they seem all been mixed up, and I don't have a holly wreath. So what I'm going to do, it's not quite the closest, but I'm going to go for soft jade anyway. I've got the one Lily's done for me, so I'm not overly concerned. But all that I'm doing is, if I go in with the macaroon, is it the macaroon? What? No, I think it's more of a pinky one I should use. So that's, let's go for more of a pinky one. So let's go in with the soft pastel tones, and we can use, no, that's macaroon as well, rose quartz. We'll go for rose quartz. So I'm going to start to colour in a few of them. I'm going to lay that colour down. And because I used our waterproof ink pad, it means I can go over with our water-based sparkle pens and not worry about any of the lines smudging or smearing. So colouring that one in and colouring that one in. And then in a minute, what I'll do, Joe, is I'll bring in the one that Lily's done and I'll tell you the actual colours that she's used, because they are different to what I've got here slightly. You get the same sparkle pens, it's just ours are a bit mixed up and we just need to sort them a little bit.
Joanne's borderline telling you off. She says, oh, Craig, can't you put paper under the paper you're stamping on so you don't get stamp mat all messy?
Well, no, because then sometimes you can get an uneven base.
There you are, Joanne, that's why.
In between, yeah. It cleans off with a wet wipe or a baby wipe or something. So, yeah.
Doesn't matter if your mat gets a bit
mucky,
not. Does it?
It's the whole point.
Absolutely.
The whole point. So we're going to go in. This is more turning into more of a pastel tones than the original, but hey-ho. Goes to show how you can be different if you want. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in with the pink garnet and, oh, that's a lot come out. Oops.
It was pastel-y, but we're going to go quite intense now. That's all right.
It was.
No such thing as a mistake, they say, in crafting, isn't it, Craig?
Well, so they say. So they say. So I'm going to take some of that away because I want to keep at least some of that rose quartz. I was going to blend it out slightly, but overpowering, but oh well.
Oh, there you go. What a save.
Go. What a save, eh? There we go. Let's do the same into that one there. Blend it out a bit. And then what I can then do is if I actually show you the one Lily's done and read out the colours so that you know, I'm going to set that to the side. So you get the gist of all that I'm doing is stamping down each side, the left and the right hand side, mixing and matching from the different sets. So if I bring this one in here, so you can see that one there. And the sparkle pens that we've used is the Fig, Macaroon, Pink Garnet, Holly Leaf, and also blended in a little bit with a clear sparkle overlay.
Perfect.
So that's what's been used for that one. So I'm going to set that one to the side for a moment. Then what I'm going to do is let's come in with a piece of watercolour card again. And then we're going to go in with a vase from Wishing You Well. So we're going to go in with this one here. I'm going to stamp this one out. I will need my stamping platform for this. And then we'll have a bit of a play as well with this one. So now that we are towards the end of the day, Joe, how's your first day back been?
Yeah, all right. I feel like it's taken me nearly a full day to get back in the swing of things. Isn't it funny when we have I think I had 12 days off for Christmas. So it felt like when we came back today, I had been gone for about 25 minutes. It was if we didn't leave at all. But then also in the same breath, it's taken me all day to try and kind of understand what I'm doing, get back in the swing of things. So yeah, good, I think. I've really enjoyed it. How's yours been?
Yeah, oh, it's been good. It's been so good.
See, I mean, it's only 12 days for you. It's been 3 months for
Exactly, yeah. Big difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been so nice. It's just nice being back into the swing of things and back at work. Well, I'll say work loosely, of course. But
yeah.
So good. Well, good being back with you guys as well and all of you at home. There's only so much TV and that you watch before you go demented.
I love that Craig's level of his voice and tone of his voice completely changes when he starts colouring. It goes from you can really hear the concentration. Maybe you've got these already, this builder bouquet, and you've been making some fabulous things with them. We would like to see some pictures. Send those pictures in to us. Very easy to do so. Just touch them to an email and ping them over to studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. That's where you need to send them to. We'd love to see them.
We do indeed. We'll love to see everything that you make.
And I wonder because obviously I know we talked about it in the earlier show today, but maybe those of you certainly across the pond might not have been watching. Who's making New Year's resolutions this year? Let me know in the comments. What did we call them earlier? New Year's objectives. Therefore,
objectives.
Yeah. So if you it sounds less regimented, doesn't it? Than New Year's resolution.
Less scary, and more inclined to actually fulfil what you decide to do.
Yeah, just set fabulous, easy ones like buy more craft stuff, spend more time crafting. Really achievable ones.
Yeah, Yeah.
Listen to more Eurovision songs. Watch more wrestling. Could be easy for us.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Yours is definitely easy. But, well, you see, actually, we are on the build-up now to WrestleMania.
Sorry?
We are on the build-up to WrestleMania
And when
now.
is it?
April, it's actually over 2 nights. Saturday and Sunday night.
Wow.
2nd and 3rd, it's round about
Have you
that.
taken the Monday off so you can stay up and watch it?
No, because the first live show isn't until midday, so it's fine. I'm not overly tired. No,
What time does it start?
Well, the actual show starts at midnight and finishes about 4 a.m, the back of 4, but they have like a 2-hour pre-show.
Right.
That starts about 10 o'clock.
So 10 p.m. till 4 hours, 6 hours each night.
Yeah.
That makes Eurovision look like a drop in the ocean. Also, I should say, we are back in the build-up for Eurovision. If you have only been watching us in the last 8 months, oh, don't worry, I'll bore you with it loads coming up, don't worry. But actually, towards the end of summer, I think it might be October time, Craig, the first ever Great American Song Contest takes place, which is essentially the Eurovision Song Contest, but for the states of the USA.
Okay.
It's done by the same people that have done Eurovision. It's the same producers and everything.
Right.
So that's going to be happening this year for the first time. So I'll be able to have all the Eurovision excitement. Then once that is done, we'll be able to have all the American Song Contest excitement as well. There we are.
All that fun you'll be able
I know,
to have.
you're just so excited you can't handle yourselves. I get it.
I know.
I get it.
Beyond excited on your behalf. Beyond excited. Busy time. It's busy time coming up in the music industry. I just found out one of my favourite singers, no, not Celine Dion, has got new music coming out next week.
Who's this?
Ella Henderson.
Ah, Ella Henderson. Love Ella Henderson.
Love her voice.
Did you listen to Kelly Clarkson's new Christmas album over Christmas, Craig?
Some of the songs.
Oh, it's like, since you wasn't enamoured with it there by your time. Did you not like it?
It's not that I didn't like it, no.
Right.
I just, I do like my classics.
I was obsessed. It was my album of Christmas this year.
Was it?
I loved it. And the Ariana Grande song. Oh, just love that.
I just love her.
Ariana Grande. Yeah. She's got a bee tattoo behind her ear. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that. Yeah. I feel like I should add a bit more context to that, but I then feel like maybe we should just leave it there. It was after her gig in Manchester. Because of her affinity to the city, she went to a tattoo parlour in Manchester and she had the worker honeybee, which is like the emblem for the city, tattooed behind her left ear.
Is that what it was? Right, okay, that makes sense.
That is definitely one of the facts on my walking tour of Manchester. Yeah.
Okay. Any
you
other
don't want me to bore you with it. It's 3.5 hours long. You don't want me to bore you with anymore, trust me. Don't get me going. You'll never shut me up.
Or we could just get you started and wind you up and let you go.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All that I'm doing here, Joe, is I'm taking a selection of the stamps. So I'm taking some of the flower stamps that are the outline, some that's just the solid, and I'm using a variation of quick dries. So I've used plum jam, I've used grasshopper, I'm going in with, let's go in with crushed velvet. Oh, let's get that one. There we go. Crushed velvet on that one. Stick it down. And then because you've got the dies to go with these ones, it means you don't need to worry about fussy cutting. You don't need to worry about whether you're cutting them out right, if you're missing bits or what. The die does it for you. So I'm going, and I'm just want to make sure as well that I put them all in the right place. Let's just do a couple more, and then we can do some die cutting. And then we can start to assemble this one together. What got you into the Manchester tour? Although I'm from Manchester, living in Manchester, but...
So I went on the tour like 3 times, ages ago, because I just loved it. What happened to I went on it and thought it was brilliant, so then I would take people that visited on it.
Right.
Then after a little while, I'd been on it so many times, that I kind of stopped taking people on the tour and sort of gave my own sort of like small rehashed version of the tour, but without really many sort of like dates or times. It was just a very sort of, basic outline of the tour.
Yeah.
So that happened. And then the tour themselves, the guy that runs the tour, put a shout out on Twitter or Instagram saying they were looking for new people to start giving the tour.
Okay.
So I thought, someone sent it to me and said, you'd be perfect for this.
Yeah.
Because you've already kind of
Because you're
stolen
already
it
doing
in
it.
parts, you know. So that's how I started doing it, yeah. And it took me a long time to learn it, Craig. But I've learnt it now, it's in there. Although I gave it the other day after a 3-week break of not doing it, and I hadn't realised how much I'd forgotten in just 3 weeks. So definitely need a bit of revision in future. It's bonkers how quickly you forget things, isn't it?
It is.
But it was all in there, obviously, once you started to go through it. But yeah, there was a few few vacant moments as I sort of frantically scratched around in my head to try and find some of the information.
Do you not get bored at certain bits, like, oh, I have to do this spiel again? You know, like, I could imagine, you know, when Celine Dion's asked to sing My Heart Will Go On, she must be like, oh my God, not again.
I don't know. I don't think I've done it enough times yet to get to that point.
Right,
So I've only done
okay.
it 4 or 5 times, so it's all still a novelty at the moment. There are definitely elements of the tour I enjoy talking about more than other elements, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I
Because obviously not everyone connects with all parts of history or all of the so vacant today. Not all history. So a lot of it's talking about history, but also I feel like it's just turning into an advert for my free Manchester walking tour now. It's all about, and culture as well, but we don't all, like, there's bits of it that are my favourites,
Yeah.
bits of it that I'm really not that interested in, and other bits of it that make up everything in the middle, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So it's obviously much harder to remember things that you don't engage with. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. Yep,
Ooh, got there in
100%.
the end.
You got there.
Oh, what's my favourite bit of the tour? The bits about Alan Turing are my favourite bits of the tour.
Who?
Alan Turing, who was one of the Bletchley code breakers. Have you seen the film The Imitation Game?
No.
With Benedict Cumberbatch. It's all about the Bletchley code breakers who were trying to break the Enigma code, which was the code that the Nazi Secret Service used. And they did break the code. They shortened the length of the war by 2 to 4 years and saved about 14 million lives. It was all headed up by this guy called Alan Turing, who lived in Manchester after the war. Gosh, I remembered that bit all right, didn't I? I usually need notes for that bit.
Kind of makes my next question going to be
Sorry?
quite pathetic. I said it's going to make my next question quite pathetic.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Coronation Street set?
I haven't, no. But do you know what I can tell you?
What?
Is that a lot of the UK... Oh, gosh. Should we just do the tour now? Should we start? We've got 3.5 hours. A lot of the time, a lot of UK productions that you see, Craig, that use New York, are set in New York, are actually set in Manchester. Because a lot of the warehouse buildings, they also have like the fire escapes on the outside.
Yeah.
So some Marvel films, one of the recent Superman spin-offs, The Crown, all set in New York, but filmed in Manchester.
Same with Glasgow. A lot of it's done in
Yeah,
Glasgow
lots
as
of
well.
Glasgow.
Like to California, Philadelphia, and that.
Yes.
That's meant to be there is actually filmed in
So
New
my
York.
brother is a rigger on film, so builds
wow.
builds sets in studios and helps to rig up outdoor shoots for films. And he's in Glasgow at the moment filming a film that is set in New York.
That's
There you
awesome.
go.
I was through in Glasgow. It was about 2 years ago. No, it wasn't. That's a total lie. It was a lot longer than that. They were filming World War Z.
Oh,
the
yes.
zombie film with Brad Pitt. And oh my gosh, like Princess Square and that looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
That it just looked like I was in New York.
Yeah.
It was strange because obviously it was still Glasgow, Princess Square. But it had the banners as if it's a street of New York.
Yeah,
Do you know what?
it's
It
crazy,
was
isn't it?
just crazy, yeah. Absolutely crazy. Really well done, though.
There's a film, well, this is the last bit, and I promise we'll get back on topic after this. There is a Channel 4 TV drama that was out last year called It's a Sin, and it's meant to be set in a run-down 1980s London. So they filmed it on a street in Manchester, Peyton Street, and they changed absolutely nothing. So if you want an idea of what run-down 80s
Yeah.
London looks like, just come to Manchester, I'll show you around, yeah.
I always wondered, again, just quickly, why they'd done that, but it was just the cost to shut down the actual American town
Yes,
is just
so
ridiculous.
much.
So it's a lot cheaper to actually pay
Build it in Glasgow.
Scottish, you know, they want and need the money. Don't mean it like that, anyone from Glasgow. But, you know, they want the money, so that's why it's cheaper to do it that way. So, oh well.
Linny says, That's my dream job when I retire, to be a tour guide in Edinburgh. She says, I already bore my family with my chat. Would be good to get paid for it. Well, Lily, do you know what? I'm going to say don't wait until you retire. Get in touch with some of the walking tours. Go on TripAdvisor, have a little look at all the walking tours that are available. The free ones is the one I do it for, and get in touch. And you'll be able to just say to them, you're really keen to learn it, see what they say. That's how I did it. I don't think you need to wait. There's no time like the present, as they say. Linny, if I come up to Edinburgh, I will look you up and you can take me out on a walking tour. I'd absolutely love that. We had Linny on the show recently as well. She was absolutely glorious. She had a very sparkly jumper on as well, which was wonderful. Joe, speaking of history, Rose says, I was watching old CCTV YouTube videos of crafting idea, and it is like watching home videos of you and Sarah. My, how you have changed. It really is. We were talking about this morning, weren't we?
We were, yeah.
How different it all looks. It really is. It really is a big change.
It really is.
And when we were over the shed on the other side of the car park. Yeah,
quite literally the shed, eh? Quite literally. What I'll do, I better explain just what I've been doing at this bit here, Joe. What we've got is a piece of white stamping card. This one, it is 8 by 5 inches. Then what Lily's done is got another panel here. So this is 3 3/4 by 5.5. So 3 3/4 by 5.5. But what she's done is she's scored at 1/2 inch at the top to create a little hinge. So what I'm going to do on this top bit, on the back, I'm going to add my adhesive. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, no, I better not. I'll try and get it exact as I can. So, oh, there we go, that's fine. Kind of in the midway. I'm going to fold that over. And then this is our centre part. This is actually going to be our carte blanche. So if I turn it around, it's actually going to sit, I just need to burnish that a little bit more at the top, but it's actually going to sit like that. So what we... Nicola's just said exactly what I thought as well.
What was?
Looks like an elephant.
Does it?
Do you not think so?
Bit of an abstract one, but yeah, I see it.
The ears at the side. Poor Lily spent ages making this, and we were saying it looks like an elephant. So what I've done a moment ago as well is I've matte and layered all these up. So this white layer that we done the stamping and colouring, that is 7 1/4 by 4 1/4. So 7 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then using our purple and fuchsia Centura Pearl, matte and layered these ones at 1/4 inch bigger. White smooth stamping card, which is 3 inches by 4 1/4. So 3 inches by 4 1/4. Again, purple, I think it's chocolate box, is it? Fuchsia Centura Pearl, 1/4 inch. So what we can do is layer these ones on, and then we are simply going to create our bouquet in the middle of our carte blanche that we were just starting to assemble.
Fabulous. Any other questions you've got, get them into me. I'll talk about revolutions? No, resolutions. Very, very different. The difference between a revolution and a resolution couldn't be greater.
Yeah.
It's the teeth, blame the teeth. Rosalind's is to use more of their craft surprise. Mary Rhino says, I don't make them, so I won't be disappointed if I fail. I like that. Panda Craft says, bit pointless making New Year's resolutions as they only last a couple of weeks. They do. There must be people out there. Has anyone out there actually made a resolution and kept it going for the whole year? Do let me know. Liddy says, you should do a live when the wrestling is on and educate us all on that. Not me though, I'll be asleep by 10 p.m. Some of you.
We, myself, Ben, Johnny, and actually many of you might actually know his name as well from one of the other channels. Should we say David? Daniel Bancroft.
No, never heard of him.
He's a big wrestling fan as well. And we talked about him coming through for, well, probably be the Sunday night, and we'll just all stay up and watch the second night of the wrestling.
That'd be great.
So I think that would be a lot of fun. It'd be so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, it would be great. Don't invite me, but it sounds fun.
Wasn't going to.
All right, don't flatter yourself, Joe. That was getting me back for earlier. Christy says, I don't make resolutions because I break them. The lovely Lynn says as well, one of my New Year's goals is use my foil press more. Now that's something that can be done. Clean up and organise my craft space, says Brenda. Ro makes a good point. She says, Joe, the real question here is who has already broken their New Year's resolution? And then a little hand up emoji as well. There you go. Anne says, my dad coached high school wrestling when he would say that WWE is not real wrestling. Oh, shots fired. And then she also goes on to say, it's not real wrestling. In fact, he said it wasn't even a real sport because real sports have rules. Oh, wow.
I get that. It's not real, you know, and fair enough you say it's not a sport, but they have to be so athletic with what they do against someone chasing a football.
I have to be very athletic to work here at Crafters TV, Craig, honestly.
You just need to know how to get your words out as well.
Oh dear, here we go. Saucer of milk for Laird.
I just miss being here so much. So what I've done here is I've gone in with a vase at the bottom here and I've popped that on one layer of foam pad. What I've done with this centre one, this is going to be kind of like my centre point and everything's going to work around that. So I've popped that on 2 layers of foam pad, so it's quite, well not quite high, but it's higher than the vase. Then all of these, what I'm actually going to do is use glue gel because this is really going to work well for a bouquet because it's a lot more forgiving, it's a lot more flexible, you can move it a lot easier. So all that I'm doing is I'm actually going to start with the florals all the way round and then I'm going to build with the foliage on the outside and we're going to create our own unique bouquet for the front of the card.
Linny says you're on, Joe. I have great knowledge of the city and its best drinking dens as well. I'm going to take you up on this, Linny. I hope to be back in Edinburgh for the Edinburgh Fringe, hopefully, back in August. Obviously, I haven't been able to go, Craig, for the last... It did happen last year, but it was very scaled back, and obviously it didn't happen at all the year before that.
No.
And the year before that, 2019, was the last year it happened in full. That was the last year I was there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get there for a few days later this year.
It's just such a gorgeous city.
Oh, so beautiful, and the festival is incredible. Linda says they gave up smoking 11 years ago and have kept that up. That's amazing.
That's good.
Rebecca says, Joe, I have kept mine for the last 10 years. It was never to make another New Year's resolution. That is their resolution. Linda says, in 2019, I made a resolution to walk 200 miles a month for the full year with Race at Your Pace. Got a 13th medal with my full year's mileage of 2,789.63 miles at the age of 61. Well, round of applause for Linda. Honestly, that's incredible.
That
absolutely
is
incredible.
Absolutely fantastic. Puts me to shame.
Yeah, I unfortunately, Craig, was meant to do the Manchester Marathon in April. I had to pull out again. The hip, which was what stopped me, my dodgy hip, which I bored you all with in September or August time, which was what stopped me doing both marathons last year, hasn't healed itself, unfortunately, so I have to pull out again. Nightmare.
Is that like unfortunately or unfortunately?
No, genuinely, yeah, but genuinely unfortunately.
Because I know the first time around you were really I
wasn't that far away. I was only about sort of 6 weeks out from the last ones when it went. And I thought that I would be able to. I thought give it 12 weeks rest and I'd be able to give it a go. But no, unfortunately, it hasn't happened. Well, I'll tell you what, Linny's getting even more valuable as a viewer as it goes by. Because now she says, even better, Joe, I put my spare room on an Airbnb for the festival. She said you can come and I'll give you come and stay and I'll give you a free walking tour. Linny, I'll be getting in touch. Don't you worry about that. What part of the city are you in specifically? Just so I know, just so I can work out the bus routes. Don't give me your postcode or your full address, obviously. Just area.
My mum used to do that just before COVID. So bad timing that just before COVID, my older brother, he came home. He was he'd been travelling Australia and then working in China as a teacher and that. And he just got a bit fed up, so he came home. Then COVID hit, and he's been stuck back home.
Yes.
So he's overtaken the main spare room at my mum's and stepdad's. But before that, what she actually done was, because we're from the Gulf town, Carnoustie, she'd done Airbnb for a couple of years.
Oh, nice.
And I'm telling you, it was like 4 in a bed.
Sorry, Craig.
The TV programme.
Oh, right, sorry. For anyone that doesn't know about that TV programme, 4 in a Bed, it's nothing like it sounds, honestly. It's actually when 4 different guest house owners visit each other's guest houses. They stay in their own rooms.
Yes.
Just saying that there. Sorry, Craig, it just sounds
No, that's
a bit
okay.
strange.
We had little things in the room, little brochures, little fancy things and that. It was quite cute to see.
I really want to go to Dundee, Craig. I really want to go to the Victoria and Albert Museum that's there now.
If you'd said that to me about 2 years ago, I would have said to you, really?
Right, okay.
But it is turning into a beautiful city.
Apparently it's really changing. It reminds me a lot like there's a seaside town in Kent called Margate.
Yeah.
And literally you would have done anything to have avoided going to Margate. Like it was one of those towns, had really big grand houses and stuff, Craig. They were all turned into studio apartments. It just was really run down. There was actually a programme about it, trying to regenerate it. Like it was so bad had it got that no one was going there, but it was an old Victorian seaside town. And then they opened a Turner gallery on the seafront, which is was really quite a big deal for the art scene. And then all of it sort of sparked this regeneration. All of these, it's now got this amazing art scene, loads of culture, lots of beautiful restaurants. So I'd imagine that the V&A in Dundee is probably having the same sort of effect.
Yeah, absolutely is. You know, because we've always had for years, we've had the Discovery ship. You know, when Captain Scott took the Discovery ship to, I always get Antarctica and the other one mixed up. Yeah, that was Antarctica, wasn't it? So we've always had that. But yeah, the V&A has brought in a lot of tourists. But just revitalising, you know, along the River Tame. We've got what's Slessor Garden. So we get a lot of big concerts now with big celebrities, and they're looking to actually build a big arena within the Dundee. So it is turning into a beautiful city. They just need to do something with the shopping centres. But there we go.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. We got there in the end. I mean,
we got
I wonder, did anyone keep note of the amount of different topics that we managed to cover?
I know, but yeah,
in the length of that demonstration.
You can see on that one how we've created that floral bouquet on that one, just going for that big, it's kind of like an explosion of florals that Lily's made for that one.
Really beautiful. Great for, I'd imagine as a wedding card or something like that, you'd be able to use that. And again, maybe using elements on smaller cards, absolutely can. Let me take you through what you're getting then. 4 different collections in here. Brilliant price for you as well. You're saving £33.78 or £38.87 before your Club Inspired discount. Wishing you well is this one here. You will also receive just for you. Then we've also got For a Beautiful Friend, and you've got Enjoy Your Day within there as well. £18.18 or £20.93 if you want to get your hands on those. £14.54 or £16.74 if you are a platinum member. Right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to check out your basket. It's really busy across on the website, so whilst you do that, here's all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
We do create every single day. Mischief, mayhem, madness.
We attempt to create.
We do. Sometimes we even do cards. I know, it's a great place to be. Right, we're going to move on. A lot of love coming in for that last demonstration. Stunning Make says Rebecca. Samantha Cheney says this is a really great price. Suzanne says beautiful card. Linda says lovely, Craig. Cindy says, well, have the floral stamp and die sets. I've never used it. Craig, you've inspired me to pull it out and make some cards. Hopefully they'll be as beautiful as yours. I do hope so, Cindy. Right, let's move on. We're going to look at some stencils. Love these as well because they're a little bit of a random size, 7x7, which wouldn't be. Are they 7x7? I'm second guessing myself now. 7x7, so they are a bit of a strange size. Obviously, you can do smaller items with larger stencils. Nothing to stop you doing that. But really great, maybe on an 8x8 card size blank with a little border around them, which is kind of how they've been used just here. Let me take you through what you're getting. You're going to get the polka dots included. You will also get this one here, which is the beautiful butterflies. Then you've got your rosebud floral. This one here is your abstract swirls. Then you've got your cute florals. This one here is your scattered foliage. And then finally, one of my favourites, the love hearts as well. $27.25, $41.73. It saves you almost £15 or $14. There is one that is available on its own. It is not in the bundle because it is very, very low stock. So make sure you're grabbing that. You can get that one on its own, $5.99, $7.95. Nothing to stop you going for the full collection and adding that one in whilst it is still available. But you will need to be quick if you want it because it is very, very low stock there. $21.80 or $33.38 if you are a platinum member and you want to get your hands on these. Right, we're going to go across to Craig. I love these. A bit different, these, aren't they, Craig?
Bit different, absolutely. And as you said, they're 7x7, so that bit of a different size to them. However, what we're going to do is we're actually going to stencil an even smaller piece of card. So of course you can stencil up to 7x7 and then chop it down afterwards, but you don't have to. If you just want to stencil through onto a specific size, you can. So what I'm going to do to start with those, I'm going to take a piece of white smooth stamping card and cut this to 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So all that I'm going to do to start with is let's bring in my little stamping block again, and I've taken the same image. Now this is another one that Lily's prepared for me, so thank you, Lily. So what I'm doing is stamping up. I've gone in with the Noir Black alcohol proof, and what I'm going to do, Joe, is towards the bottom right hand side I'm going to stamp with love from me to you down into here. So that's that one. Then what I'm going to do is, if I set that to the side for now, I'm going to come in with a strip of white smooth stamping card, And then what I can do is if I let you know it's 2 inches by 6.5. And we're going to use the one that you think is one of your favourites, Joe. And that's the Love Hearts.
Yes, do love that one. Really nice modern, isn't it?
It is. It really, really is. And because of the size, as you said, you've got that real modern look when it comes to the Love Hearts. In actual fact, let's do it that way just so that you can see a bit clearer how you've got there. Really, really funky. I really like that one. And then what I've got is my Pigment ink pads in front of me. So what I have got is I've got Orange, Honey Pot, Spring Meadow, Ocean Blue, Crushed Velvet and Fuchsia. I did have the red, but it seems to done walkies, so minus the red. But I've got, as I say, once again, Orange, Honey Pot, Spring Meadow, Ocean Blue, Crushed Velvet and Fuchsia. So what I'm going to do here is I've got my piece of cardstock here. Now this is what I mean by it could be 7 by 7 and then you can chop it down to the size you want, but this is the one that I'm going to use. And then what I'm going to do as well, if you want to use your sprays, you can. I'm just going to secure it at the bottom with a little bit of tape to hold it into place. This is my personal favourite way of doing it. So I'm going to tape that one in. And when it comes to the finger daubers, I like to use one of Debbie Fisher's favourites, and that's the finger daubers. Because what you get with these is an absolute beautiful blend all the way through. And a really good and easy way to do that is with the finger daubers. So I'm going to go in with what seems to be used already. So I've got Orange, that looks to be Honey Pot, that one looks to be Spring Meadow, that one looks to be Ocean Blue, that one looks to be Crushed Velvet, and that one looks to be Fuchsia. So what I'm going to do is, I know you can't quite see it, but I've got my ink pads just resting up against the edge of, there we go, you can just see it there face on, up against the edge of my glass mat. So I've got them all rested up. So let's just move my finger daubers out the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a colour at a time. So I'm going to pick up some of that orange. Now this is where I would usually have started with the red, but we'll just go with the orange instead. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab that ink on, and I'm going to go back, let's just move my ink into view for you. And then what I'm going to do is really dab this one in. These ones are good with your embossing powders, but these are exceptionally good for doing the blending tones into each other.
So with the finger daubers then, do you tend to dab them rather than sort of move them around like you would with a larger blending tool?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 as well, what I do, just because of the size of my finger, I tend to feel it, find it more comfortable to hold them like a pen or a pencil, but you can just pop your finger in or your pinky in, whichever you feel comfortable doing. But after a few moments or two, it does get a little bit uncomfortable for me, so I just then tend to hold them. But it is just that pouncing up and down, laying that colour down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to move it just now. I'm going to bring in the Honey Pot, and I'm going to do exactly the same. So I'm going to go in, and I like to go side by side. So I'm going up to where the orange is and really dabbing that ink down. You want to get it really, really nice and full of colour. So dabbing that one in, lay a little bit more colour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross over, and I'm going to start to blend them in. As if you're crossing over, you know, with your alcohol pens, you know, when we tend to blend into each other. That's what I'm doing, but I'm doing it in dabbing form. So dabbing it back and forwards, just crossing it over. And all that I'm doing is little up and down movements. So I don't know if you can quite see. See how I'm going like a zigzag? Yeah. Just back and forwards, blending it into each other. And then I can set that one to the side for now. Then what I'm going to do, now that I've got that started, what I'm then going to do is I'm going to keep going in a colour at a time. So if I go in with the Spring Meadow, and it's very repetitive, but it starts to look really cool, even with the stencil on. And it's when you take the stencil off, that's when it looks even cooler, because that's when your blended look starts to come into each other. And what I'm actually going to do, because the green technically is darker than your yellow. So instead of blending into the yellow, what I'm going to do, let me just add a little bit more colour of green. What I'm actually going to do, Joe, is I'm going to go back to the yellow instead and blend that in. Because I don't want the green to be overly powering, otherwise it's going to take away a lot of the yellow. So dab in, again, back and forwards, blending it in, that we can see here. And you can kind of already see how it's blending into each other, that you can see on this part here.
It's getting almost a sort of a blue tinge to it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, you're getting all these different colours of the rainbows.
I'm so terrible with what colours make what colours, Craig. You know, some people just have those things. Two things I can't do. Well, because I think maybe I have been too lazy to learn them over the years. How many months have how many days in them? I couldn't tell you. It's one of those basic things that everyone knows. I know January has 31, 85 it feels like that, Nicola, doesn't it? I know January has 31, I know that February has 28. The others, I know December has 31 as well. The others, I couldn't tell you. I've not got a clue.
February's got 29.
Sometimes it does. All right, no need to be pernickety. But that's one of the things I don't know. Also, what colours make what colours? It's two things that I just really struggle with. Maybe they should be my New Year's resolution to work those out this year.
Maybe. Do you know who's good at that? Now, obviously, it's no surprising, but Leanne.
Yes.
Bang, straight away. Colour, colour, colour,
yeah,
colour.
knows all of them.
So good. So good. Obviously, she's going to have a Spectrum Noir, but yeah, so good at being able to do that.
I think I wasn't very good at art at school. That's why, Craig. I just didn't. Maybe I was slightly disengaged from it. Joanne says, Craig, question.
Yeah.
With the daubers, can you reuse the same dauber with different type of ink pads that are the same colour, or do you need a dauber for each kind of ink pad, i.e. water reactive, quick dry, etc.?
That's a really good question. Basing it on similar being the blending tools, what I would do is and now I know if you go for the full lot, then of course you get a full tray of nice brand new clean ones. But if you are wanting to use one for a colour family, then do that. So for instance, you could use this one for the blue, and you could use it for the light blue, the medium blue, and then the dark blue.
But you'd still keep it separate to the style of ink pad.
Yes, sorry, I see exactly what you mean now, yeah. So I would never, I've got two sets. One of them I was given to by Crafter's Companion, the other one I bought myself. One set I only use for opaque pigment, and the other set I only use for our waterproof ink pad, our water reactive ink pad. Very rarely, if I'm honest, do I use my finger daubers with water reactive. Tend to use the blending pads. But yeah, I would never mix and match. Because you've got different consistency products within your pigment versus obviously they are pigments. So no, I wouldn't. So if you can, keep them separate, but there's nothing stopping you using the one for all three colour families, for instance, of the blue.
Okie doke, hope that helps. Joanne, can these be used with the pigment ink pads, says Anne-Lee? These stencils.
Can these
be used with the pigment ink pads?
That's what I'm using now, yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
They've all got 28 days, surely, says Crafty AJ. Oh, they all do have 28 days. Some of them have more, though, and that's where I get confused is, can't your knuckles, ups have 31 days, downs have less? So January, February, March, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December all have 31 days and the downs have less. That's a game changer, that. Isn't it? That is a life hack. So what are you doing on for 1 second, January, February? That's really clever. Like that tip.
That's a good one.
Now you just got to learn what all the other ones that have less have, and then we'll be there.
Yeah. That is a really good one.
Treasure Heart says, I thought I had these stencils checked and I don't have them. Guess what's just jumped into my car? That's what Dawn says. I do the same thing as you, Craig. I hold the outside of the daubers, find them more comfortable that way. There you go.
Sorry, excuse me a minute. I'll go and pick up my dauber.
Oh, you're not going to drop your dauber?
Yeah.
Oh dear. He's on a wild dauber chase around the studio.
Drop my dauber. Here we go. Got it.
You found it?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Here we go. So I've got the fuchsia, so we'll go back to the fuchsia now. And then I'm finishing off, going in with the bottom, dabbing the fuchsia in, and repeating exactly what I've done with the previous ones, just starting to then blend them into each other. That's a really good idea, Nicola. You could do turning this into a bookmark for sure. If you are using your pigment by doing them the way I'm doing them, and you're wanting to leave them like that, what you need to do is let them dry, because they stay open longer. In other words, they stay wet. That's why they're really good for popping your embossing powders on. You can go over the top with a heat tool if you want, but if you want to set it quicker, then just put a sprinkling of clear embossing powder over the top, heat it, and you're going to get a really gorgeous embossed, it's kind of like a cleary, sparkly sort of embossed look when it comes to your inks. But going back in with this one, let's blend that one back in just a little bit more, and then I'm quite happy with how that's.
Oh, it looks amazing. But I know it's going to look even more incredible when you take this off.
So what I'm going to do is, if I take that one off, I'm going to hold.
Wow! Look at that. That's amazing.
And do you know what would look cool as well if you want to? Before you reveal, if you went round with like a little very thin, fine black pen, or any colour, doesn't have to be black, but that would look quite smart as well.
Nice idea.
Then by leaving it like that, that looks equally smart. And then what I can do is, if I take that one out the way for now, and then remember as well, you don't have to worry about wasting what's on your stencil. So what you can do with a little wipe, or where's that baby wipe that I used earlier, because that's still damp. So to clean it, clean it onto a piece of cardstock. Now this isn't going to be overly powdering because I've used light tones of colours, but by cleaning your stencil, clean it onto a piece of cardstock and then lift it up, and then you do get a lot of different effects as well. So
I really love that, 2 for 1.
Yeah, that's it, exactly, 2 for 1. Just take off that excess, let it dry, and then that is kind of like, as you just said there, a 2 for 1. And then a very quick but sophisticated card by bringing it together. So if we bring in the layer where we stamped our sentiment on, and I've got a piece of black from that bundle that you have, Joe, and we're going to go round. And then we're going to pop that one on. Now what Lily's done, and it works really, really well, instead of putting this layer flat onto the card blank, she's even lifted this one up with foam pads as well.
Nice.
And it creates its own sort of organic drop shadow, and it works a treat. So you've got your black matting layer, and then you get that sort of dull grey tone shadow within the back onto your card blank. So let's take these ones off here. So let's layer this one up. Of course you can keep it flat if you want, it's entirely up to you, because even the layer we've just done, that's going to be lifted onto foam pads. So if we pop that one on there into the middle, it is, as well in case anyone wondering, 5.5 by 7.5. That's funny actually she's done that, because I've been doing that a lot lately as well, 5.5 by 7.5. Quite a good size. Having the Ultimate Pro as well means that we can then make any envelope to fit it. So I'm going to go in with my tape runner onto a piece of black card, and then we're going to place that in. So we've got a black border on the left and the right, but not along the top and the bottom. So we can finish this one off by popping our foam pads on, making sure we've got a nice, good coverage. So it's going to stabilise it. Please, 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 if you do anything like that, always take the back ends off the centre ones.
What happens if you don't?
Well, some people out there don't.
Right.
And what happens if you leave the back end on, let's say for instance, you leave the back ends on, what can happen sometimes over time is the bottom and the top is stuck, but because the middle's not, it's maybe stabilising it, but it's not actually stuck, it can, with heat, start to bend up. So do always, in my opinion anyway, please
make
do
sure
always
that's stuck
take
down,
the back.
that one.
Yeah, just make, do you know what, you've put the foam pads on anyway, so why not just take the backing off, and then I'm going to centralise it so it's in between the matte layer as well as the sentiment, and that's it. How stunning is that one?
Really, really
Absolutely
gorgeous.
beautiful when
Really
it comes
lovely.
to this one. So that's come from a 7x7 stencil, but it goes to show that you don't have to use them the size that they are, and a combination of the opaque pigment. So this is the one Lily originally done for me, and that's got the red at the top. So what Lily's done here is opaque pigment ink pad, red, orange, honey pot, spring meadow, ocean blue, crushed velvet, and the fuchsia.
Amazing, absolutely gorgeous, and something that's quite achievable, I think you'll agree, and something you can do with all of these different stencils. Although they are called a pigment ink background stencil, you definitely could use your other inks through these as well. So in here you're going to get the polka dots, which is this one just here. You will get those butterflies as well, which are your beautiful butterflies. This one here is your rosebud floral. Then you've also got the abstract swirls, along with the cute florals, which are those ones just there. This one is your scattered foliage. And you've also got your love hearts there as well. $27.25 or $41.73 is your price. There is an extra one available for you as well. It's not in the main bundle. A lot of you choosing to add this in addition to the main bundle itself. It's the Elegant Trellis, $5.99 or $7.95 if you want to get your hands on that one just there. Right, we need to go and have a little look at the Centura Pearl deal that we've got on the show for you. A brilliant deal with 100 sheets of cardstock for you, £30 or $50, which is excellent. So in here you have got, I'm going to say that's the Christmas green, unless I'm mistaken. Believe it is. We're going to find out. It is Christmas green. This one here is the turquoise. You will also receive the fuchsia. Then you've got the deep purple. Now that one's a lilac. Royal. Oh, that is actually lavender. Or if you're French, lavande. There you go. This one here is the royal blue, mint green. This one is the lilac. Then you've got the cherry and the baby blue. Does anyone watch? Have you seen? £30, $50 to get that. £24 or $40 as a platinum member. Has anyone watched? Does anyone watch Emily in Paris?
No, but I'm looking to start it.
Oh my word! The second season came out. I watched it all in a day, Craig. Completely.
Yeah,
I don't do this. I don't do this with any program ever. The first one, I watched it in 2 days because I started watching it about 8 o'clock at night, and I stayed up until about midnight. And I thought, you've got to turn in. That's it. It is only 10 episodes, and each episode is about, it's less than 30 minutes an episode, I think. So it's not that much TV to go through.
Okay.
But honestly, it makes me want to just move to Paris and eat croissants for the rest of my life, Craig. If you haven't seen it, give it a go. Oh, I love a croissant. Can we order some croissants? And we also do need to do the Monday mega. In my ear, they go, I love a croissant. Honestly, it's a nightmare where I live, Craig, because right across the road, as you come out of the door of my apartment building, there is a bakery right opposite. And it's just like a little hole-in-the-wall style bakery. So like a commercial bakery, and they also have like you can go into the door and there's a tiny little counter you can buy from. But all you can smell when you leave my house in the morning is croissants baking. And it's so hard not to just pop in, get a little cheeky croissant, as I do most days, to be fair. I could try to be Emily in Paris, or, you know, Emily in Ancoats. There we go. Emily in... Right, I'm going to move on because we've rapidly lost focus as this show has gone on. Matte black cardstock. This is your Monday mega deal. You can go for this. You're going to get 40 sheets of matte black cardstock. You'll also get the white stamping card, which should in essence be called the anything stamping card. No, it should be called the white anything card. You're going to get that one. You're also going to receive 36 sheets of the 12x12 230 GSM Brights as well. Someone's definitely been nicking a few sheets out of this one, but that's the one you will get. 36 sheets of that as well. $20.99 or $41.99 if you want to go for those. We're going to go back to, though, those panel dies. But before we have, people have been helping me. Apparently, Pammy says, there's a rhyme to teach you the days of the month, Craig. Pammy has sent it through, Khaki Blue sent it through, and Anne have both sent it through to me. And it is 30 days have September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31 except for February. So if we can just remember September, April, June and November, all the others have got 31, just February. I thought something had 29, I'm not going to lie. Brenda says awesome rainbow effect. Dolly saying lovely card. Jane saying love that card as well. Will says beautiful card. Sandy says just used my heart stencil last night and a few cards came out awesome. And Karen says thank you Craig, that demo was lovely. We are going to move back to these delicate panel dies. These are the star of the show. You guys are absolutely loving these. Different ones in here for you. So you've got the elegant butterfly firstly, which is that one there. You do also have the entwining vines, which are in there as well. You've then got your peacock feathers, and finally your perfect peonies. Any two of these for £22 or $29 if you want to get your hands on them. That way it is completely up to you. You can mix and match. Of course, best way to get the best value, as always, is to go for that main collection. Any questions you've got, get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. But I think Craig is ready for another demonstration on these ones.
I am indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a box. Within this one, we're going to be using our butterflies, which is the elegant butterflies for this one. So let's start off with our box to start with. So I've got a couple of pieces of white smooth stamping card, 8 3/4 by 7 1/4. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to bring in my scoreboard here. So what I can then do is come along and I'm going to score at 4 1/8. So we're going to score at 4 1/8. In actual fact, I should really be better with my large scoring board, which is here. Here we go, be better with this one. So we're going to do, let's go back in here. So 4 1/8. And then what we're going to do is score at 8 1/4. 8 1/4, which is there. So what that's going to do is that's going to create the half as well as creating a tab on this side. I'm going to turn it on itself to the left-hand side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. So scoring at 1/2 inch here. And then what I'm also going to do is exactly the same as to what I've done a moment ago on the second bit. So 4 1/8. So we're going to score. And then we're also going to score along at 8 1/4. Turn it around on itself and we're going to score at the 1/2 inch mark. There we go. And I've already got 2 good to go. So that means that we don't need to do all of them. I've got 2 started. So what I'm going to do with this one is if I fold that in and then fold these base parts, what I can do is take my scissors and we're going to create our little tab. So where we've got the top here, I'm going to cut just at a little bit of an angle, so you can see that one there. Then here, when it comes to, let's start at this side here, I'm going to do the same here, so cut at an angle, and then I'm going to cut in at that cross point here. So then there is the base tab. We're going to cut in to that one, and then we're going to cut into that one. That creates that base tab, and then what we need to do is finish that one off here. So then that gives us our 2 tabs for the bottom, and it also gives us our side tab. We're going to do exactly the same on this next one. I'm going to fold these ones, and then we're going to create our own little tabs. So by cutting in at an angle there, and then there, creating the bottom there, here, there, and then to finish off, we can do this one here. So that's that bit done. So I've got these 2, and then I've got these 2 as well, all good to go. So I'm going to set it to the side at the moment because I don't want to assemble it just yet. Otherwise, what will happen is it'll make it harder for us to assemble our die cut elements. So while I am there, what we will do is let's take a piece of white smooth stamping card as well. Bring back in our scoreboard. This one is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then what we can then do is we can then score that at 1/2 inch all the way round, And this is what's actually going to create our base lid. So work our way around. So let's take that one. And let's just fold these ones over. I would usually, of course, burnish it. But I'm just going to cut the notches out, Joe, with my scissors. And then using the butterfly die, what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut that into white smooth stamping card and a piece of black card. And what we would do, I'm going to do one each, but I would do 4 in white and 4 in black, and then I'll show you the next part of how we can assemble it. So set that to the side, ringing in this one, and then all that I'm going to do here is just create the tabs for my box lid.
Fabulous. Ro wants to know, is the bakery part of the tour? No, but it could be, couldn't it? We could just do a tour of places to eat in Manchester. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Just do on that one. That'd be fantastic.
That would be really good.
Mary Lee says, haven't done any stenciling lately, got caught up in album making. I had to get up my stencils now that the holidays are over. You've inspired me, so thanks for that, Craig.
You're welcome.
Pammy complicates matters by says, don't forget though, every 4 years, February has 29. Oh, that's the one that has 29.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm glad we've got getting there, aren't we? Kendall says, really love how Craig gives all the measurements as he goes along. Very, very helpful.
I'm so glad that you said, it's something that I've always done for a while, but it's something that many of you do say to me if I'm doing lives at home or that you appreciate the fact that we give the measurements while I'm going through them. So there's this one cut into the black, and I'm going to do the same again in with the white. And it's going to be a really nice decorative panelled box that you could put many things in. You can maybe carry it around with you, Joe, as your little tip box, for people to leave a little tip for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I only take notes, though, not coins.
Do you?
I thought that'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I'll take anything, to be honest.
It must be hard nowadays for people to give you tips when most people just pay with
card.
Well,
the tour relies solely on tips. People don't buy a ticket for the tour.
Is that what
it is? Yeah. But it's very strange having cash, Craig. So when I do the tour, obviously have cash afterwards. And it feels very weird going to a shop and paying for things with cash.
Yeah, because when, just before I left to come back here actually, it was on Friday, back home in Scotland, I went to one of our local bakeries. It's just lovely, but they still only take cash. So I had to go to the cash machine. And then you have change, and then what do you do with the change? Yep, exactly. And then you forget to spend the cash, so then you just have it for ages. Yep. I mean, I've got change now. I mean, it's the oddest thing. That's it. Vending machines. I've just used the vending machine here at work. I've got a pocket full of change. I paid on my watch instead. Just I have to say, though, over the 3 months I've been off, I've saved a fortune from that vending machine. Oh, I bet. Absolute fortune. It was a nightmare because it used to be next door in the office, didn't it? So we had access to it in office hours. But because it has contactless payment, it couldn't get the signal. So, basically in the middle of the building where it was. So they moved it through into here, and I was thinking, gosh, here we go. That's the end of diets, isn't it, for us? So when I went onto my online banking, this was before that I come off, and it was, I can't remember the name of the machine, but it's just like vending machine, vending machine, vending machine, vending machine, vending machine. It's like 50p here, 70p here, 80p here. I'm like, oh, it's lethal. It's lethal, but hey-ho. Kathy wants to know, these dies, can they cut through 2 pieces of cardstock at the same time? Yeah, because it's all with the power of the Gemini. But it's something I actually talked about within one of my Advent Calendar Facebook Lives. I would highly, highly recommend, if you do need to cut more than one, I would recommend you to actually still do them individually. Because what will happen is if you die cut 2 layers at once, they will both cut, but what will happen is the top layer will be nice, pristine, nice curved edges to it that you would expect from a die cut. But the bottom layer, you're going to have quite a harsh, furry edge to the die cut. Now, you might be okay with that, and that is absolutely fine. But if you do want that nice, finished touch, I would recommend you to spend a little bit of time. Don't rush, just have a bit of a play. die cut them all individually, and it is worth it if you can spend a little bit of time doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely it is. Samantha says, Joe, now Christmas fast, when will we be getting new launches? There's some launches coming up. It's either this week or next week. I'm not sure. I think it's next week. I believe there are new launches planned, so just around the corner. I adore that butterfly die. Would be so great to use with pearl paper as well. Absolutely, it would. I think, you know what these give you, don't they, you, Craig?
Opportunities.
Yes, they do indeed. 3 months he's been off, but he still remembers.
Still
Everyone else that I
remembers.
work with just roll their eyes at that point normally, Craig.
Never. I miss it. I miss all the puns.
Did you know that you can expect change from everything in life except the vending machine, says Brenda. There you go. I agree with you wholeheartedly there.
I seen the other day it was actually on Instagram. Actually, it was on Facebook. The news had picked it up. Not as actually news on the TV channel, but news on their Facebook page, how this woman come up with a really good idea to save money, and that was buy 100 envelopes.
Yeah.
And on each envelope, write your number, so 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 100. And then each day you randomly pick an envelope, and whatever that number is, you put that amount of money in. So I thought, oh, that's a really good idea. And then I sat and thought about it. And I was like, God, some weeks you might get 100, you might get 99, 98, 97, all in the winner. And you've got to put all that in an envelope in 1 week. I was like, no, I'm not going to bother doing that now.
I guess maybe you could but I guess you could really maybe could you choose the number or you had to just pick them at random?
I suppose you could choose a number.
But I mean, like on your paydays, essentially, you could do the top 10, couldn't you? You wouldn't mind putting 100 in on your paydays.
But then,
and then if you've got a bit of money somewhere else, you could put that in. When it got to the end of the month, you could just do like the 1 to 20 ones and just do those.
So why not just wait till payday then and then just put it into a bank account?
I guess so. Maybe it makes it quite a fun way of doing it.
Yeah, I'd end up going.
Because it's actually quite a lot of money, isn't it, when you tot it up?
They said you would save £5,000.
Was it 5,000? Gosh,
Yeah.
that is a lot of money.
Yeah. So
There you are.
I liked the idea until I really thought about it. That's very
Maybe
true.
you'd save yourself 5,000 if you weren't using the vending machine they're saying in the gallery.
The vending machine company's like, yes, Craig's back.
Craig's back. Oh, takings have gone up.
Yeah. I wondered, that last vending machine company.
What's your particular favourite from the vending machine?
What did I buy? It was usually just a can of Coke.
Can of Coke?
Yeah.
Bag of crisps?
Can of Coke and
Chips for you guys,
as everyone knows, I'm not a milk chocolate fan.
No.
But every now and again, it's usually the nighttime shows. You know, when you crave that little bit of chocolate.
Yeah.
And I would get a double decker.
A double decker?
Yeah.
But not white chocolate?
No. No.
Do you know what? If there was white chocolate in that vending machine, you'd be finished. That'd be the end of it.
Yeah. That and Coca-Cola, gone.
Finished.
Absolutely gone. Telling you, give me a bar of white chocolate and can of Coca-Cola, and I'm telling you, I'm anyone's. Absolutely anyone's. So, the joyous things of the vending machines. But what I've been doing here is going over the back with my dotted tape runner. If I had a little bit more time, I would probably use my fine applicator and my tacky glue, because I'm not wanting to cover the backs of the white butterflies too much, because I still want to bring up the wings. But as you can see, you can still bring them up, no problem. And then what I'm going to do, I know we're running out of time, so I'll skip this part. But on one of them, what Lily's done is she's taken some of the sparkle pens and she's taken Stormy Sky, Peacock Blue and Aquamarine and just in-coloured these certain butterflies.
Nice.
So we can then go in with our dotted tape runner and fill this one in. And then start to assemble this one. I'm changing the subject completely here, but it was just in my mind there, I don't know why. Have you seen the Harry Potter reunion yet?
No, I haven't.
I'm a bit like you, Joe, but I was intrigued to see how it went.
No, I haven't not.
No.
So what was it, like a reunion of them all meeting up as actual people, not as characters?
That's right, yeah.
Right.
But I presumed it was at the studios in London, was it, that they were at? Yeah. I was always a big fan of Emma Watson. Not when she got her hair cut short, though. So here we go. Butterflies, Harry Potter. Yeah, you see how I got there? I can see, same thing, same thing. No, I was just curious because I was watching it while prepping last night, Johnny, that's all. Yeah. So we've got, so you did enjoy it. There we go. I would say if you've got time, let us know if you enjoyed it, but we've not got much time of the show left.
We don't have much time. There's still time to let us know, maybe. Yeah, why not? If you've got any other questions or any last minute questions, get them in. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube as well.
So taking these parts and then folding them over and then creating all these bits here. So I've got the tabs. All that I need to do now is start to assemble them. So if I've got our panel just here, so adding our adhesive strip, and then I'm going to match one up to the other. And then I'm going to do, oh no, I don't need, I only needed two. Oh, it was fine in the first place. That was, Lily put in extra cardstock for me. Oh, thank you. So I only need the two that I've got here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with that side one. We're going to fold that one over and that one over. That's creating our box that we can see here. This is actually now the base. And what I'm going to do to make it simpler for myself, I've got a piece of white smooth stamping card, which is 4x4. So I'm going to go round the edges here. I would normally, with a bit more time at home, I would be using our tacky glue, Joe, because it's construction. It's better to use your tacky glue or your red liner tape. But let's position that one into here. So let's pop that one on there. Turn it over, and then what I'm going to do, just quickly, let's take something round so that I can put a bit of pressure down into here. And then let's do our lid, and then we can start to assemble the panels on, and that will be us done.
Fabulous, how fabulous. Have a guess what Katie Easley has. What she has right now. She's snacking on them.
Oh, right, white chocolate.
And
Coca-Cola.
yeah.
Yay! Go
There you
Katie.
are.
Yeah, awesome.
Lots of talk about the Harry Potter thing. Kathy, Mary, Ro, all saying they watched it. Mary said she cried a little as well.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've just finished listening to Miriam Margolyes' audio
what a
book.
legend.
She played, who did she play in the film? Oh, Professor Sprout, that was who she played in one film or two films, can't remember. I know she wasn't in all of them, it's only a couple of them, wasn't it? I just finished listening to her audio book. I just had a little cry on the way in, Craig.
Did you?
It's quite a long audio book. I think it's about 19 hours, something like 20 hours. So that's 10 commutes for me. That's a long time.
That's a
so I
lot,
feel like
isn't
every
it?
time I drive to or from work, I've had a little bit of Miriam for a couple of hours every single time. And I've got to admit, I was a bit sad now that I'm not going to get to listen to her anymore when I go home.
Yeah, you've enjoyed it that much.
I've enjoyed it so much that I'm actually a bit sad that it's over. Yeah, there we are.
She is a
I need to find
legend.
another one. Any good audiobook recommendations, let me know.
The life of Shawn Michaels?
I don't think that's got me written all over it, that one.
No.
No, not at my Strata.
No?
No. It's gone right past the end of my Strata, that one.
That was just a thought. Just a thought.
Yolanda said that today are saving this live for this demo alone. Absolutely love these butterflies.
They are gorgeous. They are absolutely beautiful.
Mary Lee says, what a great day with all the shows hosted by Joe and inspiration from the Hottie Scotty. So glad to see you back. It's been a great
so
day, isn't it?
good
First day back,
to
what
be
more could we have
back.
asked for?
It's been such a blast. I've had such a blast. I've loved it. But putting that one on, so if I bring this to the side, so what we've got here is we have got 3 of these that are black and white. We've got one that we've coloured in with the sparkle pens. And then what Lily's done as well, she's done another one, but you see how easy that they are to chop down? So you can make it a square if you want. And then you can come along, you can pop anything in that you so wish. But really, really fun, really nice to see, and such a gorgeous project, and even a keepsake to give to someone.
Mary Rena says, I watched the Harry Potter reunion, shed a few rears too. I think that's a typo and she means tears. I'm pretty sure of it. Let me share with you these panel dies. They are so beautiful. Let's just go through them. The elegant butterflies are these ones just here. Then we also have this one as well, the entwining vines, as well as the peacock feathers, and also this one here, which is your perfect peonies. Right, should we do the demo of the show? Oh no, Craig!
What?
Demo of the show and demo of the day to do.
Oh God.
And there's less than 5 minutes left. That's why Susie's like, I'm not leaving much time for counting votes, guys. Right, we have to be super quick then. You've got a minute to vote on this one, Craig.
I've got a minute to vote.
No, you haven't, but once you take it through as the viewers have got a minute to vote. So sorry, Susie.
So we've got our panel that we've done here with the rose, so we've got this one here. We've got our Build a Bouquet stamp and die sets that we've done here. We've got our 7x7 stencil that we've got here, and then back to our panel die collection that you can see here. So you've got 1, 2, 3 or 4.
Right, you've got one vote. No, you haven't. You've got 1 minute to vote, is what I was going to say. Let me just recap for you then whilst you're doing that. The Build a Bouquet. Still very busy on these at the moment. An unbelievable price on these. I think if you don't own them already, then you need to snap them up at this price. It's not very often we see this kind of value. It should be $56.95 or $70.79. So you've got a great saving on them. I thought that was wrong. Let's just change that. There we are. Should be $51.96 or $59.80. Everyone saves $33.78 or $38.87, which is not for double what you're spending. You're saving, yes, you're saving double what you're spending almost there. You've got 4 collections in here. That one's wishing you well. You're also going to get in here as well the Just For You. And then you've also got For a Beautiful Friend. And you'll also receive Enjoy Your Day within there as well. Brilliant price, under £15 or $17 for Platinum members, which is fantastic. Don't forget also about the 100 sheet Centura Pearl deal as well. In here you're going to receive Christmas green, you will get turquoise, fuchsia, the deep purple, the lilac, which is that one there. You will also get the royal blue, the mint green, no, that was the lavender I showed you earlier. This one's the lilac, the cherry, and also the baby blue within there as well. £30 or $50 if you want to get your hands on those. So do snap those up. Right, just waiting for the vote to come through. Won't be, I can sense it. I can sense any minute now it's about to come through. Let's also give you the details then for the Monday mega deal as well. This one here is, this is what you're going to receive in your matte black cardstock, 40 sheets of that. The white stamping card should be called the white everything card because it's also great for construction and loads of other projects as well. Great for inky blending, wonderful for stamping on as well. And you will also get this one here, which is your Brights cardstock. You get 36 sheets of that. It's a lovely linen textured card, that one as well. So do make sure you grab that. Right, we are really taking it down to the wire, aren't we? Poor Susie. Poor Susie. We really have, we've thrown her under the bus, haven't we? We've only got a couple of minutes. We're going to have to wait. We'll have to stay and wait until we get, oh, I'm calling it. Number 2, Craig. Number two. Yes. Number 2 is the card of the show, which is that one there. You want to grab, I'll just put, thank you very much. There we are. Right. So that is the winner of the card of the show. You only have 2 to vote from because you had the masterclass earlier. So that one there is number 2, which is the winner. So you can go for number 1 or number 2. Number 1, number 2. You've got like 30 seconds to vote. So get your votes in. Go, 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 go. Tomorrow, Craig, we'll be back, won't we, for Wake Up Call, midday here in the UK, 7 a.m. East Coast time.
We will.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited.
It's going to be good. If today's got anything to go by today, tomorrow's going to be really, really good. Tomorrow is National Trivia Day, I believe.
Oh, I love a bit of trivia.
That I'm going to be tested. There's going to be 5 trivia questions. We've already gone down that road of questions in the past. I ain't good at general knowledge, so this is going to be fun to see. Just very quickly as well, thank you so much for such a brilliant first day back. Joe, you as well, absolute legend, as well as Johnny and Nicola. I have had a blast. I cannot wait to do it all over again for the rest of the week, the rest of the month and the rest of the year.
Absolutely. I can't wait to be back with Craig again tomorrow. And then, all being well, Debbie will be here with us as well for the other 2 shows. So we've got a masterclass for you with creator cards. And then also Launch Party as well will be here for you as well. Number 2 by a landslide, Craig, apparently I'm being told.
Really?
Is your demo of the show. Thank you very much to our social media superstar, Susie. We're really putting us to the test there, weren't we?
Sorry.
At the end of the show. Big thanks to Craig, of course. We'll be back together again tomorrow, which I'm really excited for. Thanks to Jake as well, and to Nicola and Johnny next door in the game. And of course, as always, the biggest thanks goes to each and every one of you guys at home. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Make sure you grab those deals and those bargains. If you're across the pond in the US, enjoy the rest of your day. If you're here in the UK or in Europe, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another full day of Crafters TV. Take care.
Bye.